And we are back for another casual conversation with the classic guys. I'm here with one of a longtime favorite of mine, someone I've been watching since forever now, I feel. Mark Briscoe, how are we doing today?
Good, man. Real good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I remember when you guys would look like clean-cut kids in Ring of Honor coming out there as a tag team in your shorts and shaved heads and looked super clean. And then I saw the evolution and I'm like, man, this is awesome. It's cool to see.
Yeah, right, man.
I want to start off this weekend of Revolution. You're teaming up with Big Boom AJ and Orange Cassidy against the MXM Collection and Johnny TV. I have to ask you a couple of questions about that first. First things first, how do you feel about these Costco guys and the Big Boom boys?
Hey, man, they cool, man. I ain't got a problem with them. I think they're real cool. Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people don't realize AJ was wrestling way before TikTok. I mean, way before TikTok was even a thing. He was wrestling. He see, that's my thing. It's not like he got famous and then was like, oh, let me try out wrestling. Nah, he tried out wrestling and then he so happened to get famous, and you know what I mean? So the love is there, you know what I mean? He was doing it before he had any notoriety, and now it's just the fact that he does have the notoriety that he does have, but he still wants to do it. He still wants to wrestle. So I got a lot of respect there. And Big Justice, cool kid, man. Cool kid.
He is. I hope to see him get involved again this time around. Have you crossed paths with AJ on the independents prior to this before?
That's what I was trying to figure out. Because, I mean, we were in the same neighborhood back when me and my brother were first starting, running the indies up and down the East Coast, or mainly the Northeast. And I mean, that was kind of his stomping grounds as well. And man, it's just my brain ain't no good no more. I can't remember nothing.
That's fair. Orange Cassidy's a laid back, chill dude. You're high energy. How are your guys' conversations? Like, how do you guys match each other?
Oh man, shoot, it's just like peanut butter and jelly, baby. Peanut butter ain't nothing like jelly, and jelly ain't nothing like peanut butter, but they go together perfectly, So, me and OC, we got a real cool relationship, real cool friendship going, and that's my boy, man, and I'm excited to conglomerate this Sunday evening with the one and only Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, no, definitely complement each other. Talking about the conglomeration, everyone's kind of separated a bit. Kyle O'Reilly seems to be back with his boys in the Undisputed Elite. Are you still cool with Kyle, or how's everything there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ain't no hard feelings at all. That's in my opinion, that's one of the things that's one of the most undesirable and the most unattractive traits in a friend, when they tell you that they don't want to be your friend because you're friends with somebody else. You know what I mean? It ain't no good. Yeah. Kyle been friends with them boys for longer than he been friends with me. But that don't mean that we ain't still friends and we're still conglomerating together. I mean, he can be part of the Undisputed Kingdom, and it's all good. But it ain't never gonna change that he's a fellow conglomerator.
No, for sure. I have to ask you about this interaction you just had recently with Gabe Kidd. He came up to you and he called a lot of the stuff that you were doing embarrassing. Teaming with the Big Justice, teaming with Orange Cassidy, doing what you're doing, called the place an embarrassment. How do you feel about Gabe Kidd, and have you any opinion of him yet?
Man, I tell you, Gabe Kidd, I'll be honest with you. As much as he pissed me off the other night, he also impressed me the other night, because he reminded me a lot of myself and my brother when we was young and dumb, because that's what he is. He's young and dumb, and he's just out there. He barking up the wrong tree. I'm put it that way. Gabe Kidd, he's a tough individual. He's a hell of a competitor, but he barking up the wrong tree. Hey, but I don't even mind it. That's who I want to fight. That's who I want to face off against. Is somebody who's full of piss and vinegar and full of energy. But he he just coming there yelling, all mad. Hey, Gabe, you mad, bitch? Get glad. Shit, sitting there getting paid to wrestle, talking about they flew me all the way out to Oakland and they ain't even put me on the TV. Get over it. They still flew you out there. You was riding on an airplane, and it wasn't even on your dollar. So, you know, long story short, Gabe Kidd, I'm happy that he came in there hooping and hollering. I ain't real happy how close he got to my face with his hot ass breath. But hey, he fired the first shot, but I damn sure gonna fire the last one. So I'm excited. I'm excited to do the tango with Mr. Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, and maybe teach him that you're still the same old Mark Briscoe because he's trying to say some stuff like he used to look up to you, like you changed or something.
Yeah.
You didn't change.
Exactly. That was just he just talking nonsense. He just talking nonsense. Like I said, young and dumb. We all been there, and if you ain't got past that, then you're still there, or you about to get there. But you know that's a phase that everybody goes through. So I give him a pass on that, but I ain't gonna give him a pass on the ass whooping that I'm gonna give him. But
how do you feel about the MXM collection and the whole vibe and everything they're doing?
Well, I mean, I can't argue with the fact that them boys is mighty sexy. There's some fashionably they very fashionable and they some sexy boys, but you know they don't change the fact that you know it don't matter. You can still get your ass. You can be a sexy man and still get your ass whooped. That's not like you know. I mean, I'm old school. I ain't gonna hit no woman. You know what I mean? A man is gonna hit a woman, but you know these two boys just because they well dressed and fashionable and sexy individuals, that don't mean that they can't get their ass whooped. But no, they got some skills too. I didn't realize. I thought that they was all about the just all about the whole presentation and doing the model, doing the catwalk and all this and that and the other, walking up it. But no, them boys got some skills, so it'll be fun to lock horns with them.
If they ever offered you an opportunity to model for them, would you do it?
Well, you know that'd be one of the things I'd have to call that. That'd be a game time decision because you know it's really hard. I'd have to see what I had going on at the time.
That's fair. I'm gonna take it back for a second. You said you're old school, and it just leaves me curious because you know wrestling classic, all about old school wrestling, new school wrestling. What about it all? What were your earliest memories of professional wrestling? Like, what's the first things you remember seeing?
I just remember me and my brother. We used to watch Saturday mornings. It was WWF on Saturday mornings, and it seemed like it was always somebody who we all knew and loved or knew and hated. It was always somebody that we knew versus a job guy. It was always, always. So it was rare that the person that we expected to win didn't win, but it was always the Saturday morning, 12 o'clock. So I guess that ain't technically morning. 12 o'clock. But
it used to come on after the cartoons. It would be like cartoons, and all of a sudden the wrestling was on. You're like, oh, we're still rocking. Yeah,
it's perfect. Yeah, exactly, perfect. And then so that's that's the earliest memory, just watching Saturday morning wrestling, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. Then WCW comes around, and then there were some Monday nights where we'd go get one of the TVs from the other room so we could have WCW on one TV and WWF on the other TV. And then when the great big trampolines came out, see, I know a lot of kids nowadays, they thought that them great big trampolines that are so commonplace nowadays were always around. I remember when they first started coming out. That was
you were like the cool kid on the block if you had one.
Oh shoot, no doubt, man. No doubt. But once we ended up getting one of them big trampolines, me and my brother started wrestling on the trampoline, and then we wrestled so much on the trampoline that all the springs and the trampoline mat, whatever the heck is called, the trampoline canvas, all that stuff all broke and tore and busted. But we used the metal trampoline frame to build a great big old wood platform over top of it. We scrapped up some old turnbuckles and some steel cable and some garden hose, and we found some carpet padding at a good price and some outdoor carpet, and we built a ring in the backyard. And then we started wrestling each other in the backyard, and we started filming it, and then we started sending our tapes to up and down the East Coast to anybody trying to get somebody to actually officially train us. And it just went from there. It all
That's
started
insane.
watching Saturday morning wrestling.
Yeah, that's very relatable. Let me ask you this: when you and your brother used to start having your own matches on your guys' trampoline and whatnot, like who was usually the good guy and who was usually the bad guy?
Oh, he was always, and I think for people who are familiar with me and my brother and kind of our styles, and he was always the heel. I was always fighting from underneath. He was always in control and giving me a pounding, but then I'd make that good fiery comeback, and then the rest is history. But yeah, 19 times out of 20 anyway, he was the heel.
Yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning, I remember seeing you and your brother when you guys were really young, like starting off in like Ring of Honor and stuff. Because similar to you, it was Saturday mornings, and I found this like independent wrestling on some Chicago channel that we had in Canada, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what's going on here? Like, this isn't WWE or any of the other companies at WCW. But I saw you guys go, and one of the things that stood out to me the most about you two was like I absolutely loved your guys' promos. They were unhinged. They were always fun. You guys always felt like it was just like raw, unscripted, just saying what you guys are feeling in the moment with some ideas of what you want to get across. Do you have a favorite promo of yours and your brothers? Is there one that stands out to you the most?
Yeah, that's so hard to.
Because I have friends that might not even watch a ton of your guys' wrestling matches, but they definitely watched all your guys' promos.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of like a rotation. It's like I just watched one the other day. I don't know how I even came across it, but it was with I think we was about to wrestle Dalton Castle, and so we cut a promo with a big emu that one of our buddies, actually a guy Jamie graduated with, Patrick Marble, he got an emu. And so we cut a promo with the emu, and it's hilarious watching James Manuel because he was always scared of great big birds. That was one of his phobias, was them great big old birds like ostriches or emus or whatever. But man, I was just cracking up. I was watching that thing. I just couldn't stop smiling, couldn't stop laughing. But I mean, so that's like my flavor of the week. That's probably my favorite one currently. But once I go back and I start watching them, you know what I mean? Is because I forget so much of what we said. It's like I remember doing this promo, but then I get watching it. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
Wait, how the hell we come up with this shit?
Yeah. It's like, you know what it was for, what you were probably promoting, and like what match it was for, but then you actually watch it, like all the small details and stuff. You're like, oh, wait a minute.
Man.
We said that? Like, I don't remember that. Because that's what it feels like. I felt like you guys were just bouncing off each other, getting your point across. You knew what the point was, but just bouncing off each other and just saying some of the funniest, most entertaining stuff. Hey, yo, have you guys heard about 500 Level? They make officially licensed WWE merchandise, and I actually have been working with them on a couple of designs. A design that I worked on recently was with a girl named Caitlin, who's a big Dakota Kai fan, and we designed this new Dakota Kai shirt, which you can get exclusively now at 500 Level. Once again, officially licensed with the WWE. Really wanted a new Dakota Kai shirt. Got this one designed and made, and it's on the website now, on sale now, 500level.com. Guys, join their partnership program. You get discounts the more shirts you buy, 10%, 20%, 30%. You earn points and you get a discount. They have OG shirts, guys. I had to re-up on my NWO shirts on 500 Level, the comfortable material. If you get the premium shirts, but even the non-premium is super comfortable. I got NWO shirts. I got Shawn Michaels shirts. You can find some of your favorite wrestlers on there. You can find none other than guys like Razor Ramon, the bad guy. Check out this shirt. It's a sweet, sweet shirt, everybody. 500level.com. Like I said, they have the NWO stuff. And if you're like a big NXT fan, they got shirts for all of your favorite NXT wrestlers. And if they don't, let me know, and I'll make sure we get some shirts made for your favorite NXT wrestler. I went to go support my girl, Carmen Petrovic. You guys can check out our casual conversation on my YouTube channel. You can check out mine and Carmen Petrovic's casual conversation. But 500 Level had a Carmen Petrovic shirt. I had to go support my fellow Canadian and the homie Carmen Petrovic, guys. 500level.com, guys. Check them out. Get premium, officially licensed WWE shirts that you cannot find in a WWE shop all the time. They have a huge selection on their website also for MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL. They got shirts for everything, but their wrestling selection is insane. Custom creative designs. Maybe I can work together with someone out there that is an editor that wants to put more designs on the website. Hit me up. 500level.com. Check them out and keep doing the thing. Obviously, one thing I noticed about the Briscoes just generally is that you guys are very family oriented, big families. So I'm just curious, like, how has it been such a long wrestling career? Like, How's it been balancing your family life in the professional wrestling world?
It's I mean, it's something that I kind of had to learn because started wrestling way before the families came in. I started had my first pro match at 15 years old. So, me and my wife, we got together when I was 25. So I was 10 years into wrestling when me and my wife got together. And then next thing you know, start having kids. And it's like now, there was one point when going on the road meant a big old party.
Yeah.
Well, then, then the wife, and rightfully so, I'm not at all complaining. I'm just observing, but rightfully so, cracked the whip. And, after a couple weekends, couple months of coming home, beat, tired, hungover, and not worth a damn, she said, come on, you got to get it together. Like, this is, we're parenting together here. It ain't like you can't just go off and come home and not be worth a damn for multiple days. So then it's kind of like slowly but surely kind of ease into slowing down a little bit on the road and picking it up a little bit at home. And it's definitely a learning experience. But here we are. We got 8 kids, and hey, you heard it here first. World exclusive. Number 9 is on the way.
Oh, there you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that actually is a perfect lead into my next question. But first things first, that is actually really awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have any of these kids mentioned that they want to wrestle yet? Have any of them got the wrestling bug?
my third daughter, Mikey Lynn, she's ate up with it. She loves it. She's I mean, she just got so much potential. They all have the potential physically, but some of my kids are a little more reserved as far as being outgoing and the charisma that pro wrestling requires. But Mikey, she's bubbly. She don't give a crap. You know what I mean? She don't get embarrassed easy. So there's Mikey, Mark Jr. He's my oldest son. He's got some good. I think he's definitely got some potential. And Malcolm and Marshall, which are son number 2 and 3, they remind me more of me and Jay than any of the others. Just how they react with one another and how they play off of one another. And so, I mean, I could see them. I could really see any of them getting into wrestling. But I mean, it's just crazy watching them because. And then I have one daughter, Mariah. She's mentioned. She's like, nah, I don't want to wrestle. She said, I think I might want to be one of the women who do the backstage interviews, though. I said, hey, I got the plug. I can get you in. You know what I mean? I got you. I hook you up. I point you in the right direction anyway.
That's awesome. They're also all a little interested because they've been around it their entire life. So it's cool that there's a bunch of them that potentially could be part of the business. And obviously, some of them, like I don't know your wife at all, but some of them picked up some traits from you. Clearly, they aren't embarrassed about anything. They're ready to rock and roll. So that's awesome. I'm going to ask you a few quick questions. We'll wrap this up. You were just the Ring of Honor World Champion, so this is a 2-parter. Are you looking to go back after that Ring of Honor World title, or do you have your eyes set on the AEW World Championship?
Well, I tell you, I would be, if another opportunity at the Ring of Honor World title came up, I would take it in a heartbeat, and I would, you know what I mean? I would be honored to get another shot at the title and to get another reign with the title. Now, the second part of that question, you know what I mean? It's the AEW World title is, to me, that's the top prize in the game. That's the AEW is, when it comes to what I like to call the sport of professional wrestling. There's the sport of professional wrestling, and then there is the other aspect of professional wrestling, which is just as much part of professional wrestling, but more of the entertainment, the story, the storylines, the characters. That's in my opinion, that is debatable as far as where is the best entertainment story, all that. That's debatable. But when it comes to the sport and the in-ring action, I don't think there's a question. I think AEW is top notch, and therefore AEW World title is the pinnacle of professional wrestling, the sport that is of professional wrestling. So yeah, that's definitely in the crosshairs, and that's definitely a huge goal.
As in, if you are the AEW World Champion, it pretty much is saying you're probably the best wrestler in the world today at this very particular moment. I need you to do this. It's probably gonna be kind of tough. I was a big fan of these matches. I have a great relationship with Dax and Cash as well. I met your brother multiple times and yourself, and you guys have all been great to me. But if you had to rank the 3 matches with FTR from your favorite to least favorite, and they're all great, I know that. How would you rank them? There was the regular one, there's a 2 out of 3 falls, and then there was a dog collar one. If you had to rank them from your favorite in your order, for you specifically, I'm sure all 4 of you would have had different rankings. But for you specifically, which one was the best for you and which one was your least?
Man, honestly, it really kind of depends on the day of the week.
Yeah.
But I say overall, generally speaking, I'm gonna go with dog collar match number 1. That was one of my favorite moments of my whole life. Sorry, I'm just moving over here.
No, for sure.
Yep. But that was just one of the coolest moments of my entire life. It was I've told people multiple times, but after that match, when my brother they handed us the belts and we, you know what I mean, acknowledge each other, look at each other. He gave me the biggest, strongest bear hug that I feel like I've ever had, and I'll never forget that, man. I'll never forget it. It ain't like we ain't never hugged each other before. He never hugged me before. I never hugged him before. But I just remember when it happened. I was like, man, that hug was. It was something about that hug. And so, yep. And then, you know what I mean? We all know what happened moving forward, but it was just, that match is just always going to hold a special place as far as not only wrestling matches, but just moments in my life in general. And then, and then that first match, that first match was just like the culmination of all the speculation. Is this even a possibility? Is there any way that this is going to happen? Is there any way that this could happen? And then it finally ends up coming full circle, and it does happen. And it's just like the most surreal, like, experience. It, like, when me and Jay got back to the locker room, I remember both of us was like, wow, that was wild. It felt like a dream. Like that. Yeah. It felt like a dream. Like, it didn't even feel like it was real. It felt like it was something that was like an out of body experience. It legit felt like a dream, but it was. So I'm going to do it like that for now. I'm going to go with dog collar match number 1, match
the regular singles tag match.
Regulars match number 2, and then like I said, on a different day, that 2 out of 3 falls might have been number 1 or number 2 on the list. But man, I tell you one thing about that 2 out of 3 falls match. Believe it or not, even more so than the dog collar match, I was so sore for so long after that match. And I mean, I guess it's because we went 45 minutes. I mean, it makes sense. It ain't like it don't make sense. I don't know why it's surprising, but good Lord, that was one of the most physically demanding and physically painful matches of my entire career. So yeah, but I'm gonna go with match number 3, match number 1, and then match number 2.
Have you had any other matches in AEW or Ring of Honor in this run that you're having right now that stand out to you outside of those FTR matches? Like one match that you like, that was another one that was very cool for you.
Yeah, when me and Roderick Strong wrestled at I believe it was the Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view in Texas last summer. That was I mean, because Roddy, he's like a brother. I mean, me, him, and Jay, we traveled the roads for years and years together, and I mean, we really became like Roddy really became like a third brother. And I mean, we even had our own little group. We called ourselves the Flying Brewskis. So I mean, it was cool just being me being the champ, which was a new situation. It was his birthday, which was really cool. And it was like, you know, just the two of us, like, just talking about all the times we spent together, all the times we had with Jay, and just how special it was, just because we kind of did it to honor him. Kind of like, man, I hope Jay likes this match. Like, you know what I mean? And when it was all said and done, it was like, wow, I I think he dug it. I definitely think he enjoyed that one. So I mean,
No.
that'd probably be the first match that stands out in this current run that was really special.
That's awesome. I'm sure you guys got some crazy road stories, but maybe that's for another time with these flying brewskis.
Yeah.
What are some of your future goals right now? What are some things you want to accomplish, say, in 2025? We're still early. We're just in March. We got the whole year to go. Where do you see yourself by the end of this year?
Man, I wanted to win some AEW gold. And I mean, whether that's singles gold, whether that's 6-man, I want to win some AEW gold. That's one of the first things I said when I got here. I said, I smell gold in them there hills. And, I won the Ring of Honor world title. And that's one of my top accomplishments of my whole career. And I'm not at all slighting the Ring of Honor World Championship, not at all, because I'd be happy to get another shot there. But I want some AEW gold, man. I want whether I got the conglomerate with a couple of my boys and get 6-man titles, or whether I get a shot get another shot at the TNT, or I get a shot at the International, or I get a shot at the big boy. You know what I mean? I just want to put some gold. Yes, sir.
No, I definitely see. And that was a great match with you and Daniel Garcia earlier this year for the TNT Championship. It'd be cool to see you guys running back with us. The international and the continental. There's 2 different titles. I almost put them together, but they're all out there. There's a ton going on. We're gonna wrap this up. I usually end with something. Before I end with that, quickly, I know you've explained it before, but where did the nickname Chicken come from?
Oh shoot, there's many different theories and many different theories and myths of where the origination of the nickname Chicken came from. But I tell you, from the best of my recollection, it was my 10th grade year, and the football team was lifting weights. We was lifting weights. We was in the weight room, and my best friend Eston Ennis, I just had a real good bench press. I can't remember what it was, but I'm sure it wasn't as much as I remember it being. But let's just say it was 300 pounds. I know it wasn't even close to that. But he said he's a house. He's a house. He's a chicken house. and so they started calling me Chicken House. And so for a while it was Chicken House. And then eventually the house just kind of faded away, and they would just call me Chicken. And then it went from Chicken to Big Chicken. And then my man John Hodge, he started calling me the Sussex County Chicken. And so, like I said, it's more myth than fact as far as where did how did I start becoming known as Chicken. But that's the best I got for you.
Also, I just want to throw this out there because obviously it happened more recently, but I was also very shocked when I found out that Pluto is no longer considered a planet.
But bro, I mean, I was mind blown. I was sitting there. I thought that they had made a mistake because my daughter brought home a paper about make a diorama of the solar system. I was like, yeah, no problem. I've been there, done that. I can do that. But no,
our entire childhood, they told us that Pluto was a planet.
Yeah, like how is it? I mean, that's crazy. That's like saying Mickey Mouse ain't a mouse. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, he is. He's a cartoon mouse, but he's a mouse. He's gonna say Pluto not a planet. Yeah, it is. It might be a small planet. It might be an ice planet. But I mean, as far as I know, and I don't care. In my mind, Pluto's a planet.
It's still a planet. I don't care if it's as small as a moon. You can't switch it now. It's been a planet for so long. It could be the small. We already knew it was the smallest one. We already knew.
Yeah, we knew that. I mean, that was the first thing. Give me 3 facts about Pluto. It's cold. It's small. It's actually the smallest. And then, you can come up with another one.
It's the furthest away. It's the furthest away.
Furthest away, cold and small. That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know. I saw that. I was like, that. I totally agree. Imagine, like, I'm 33. I haven't been in like school for like 10 years now. How am I supposed to know Pluto's just not a planet anymore?
Yeah, right. Exactly. What is just comment? Will y'all just upload this knowledge into us? Like, no. See, that's crazy. But hey, sometimes I think they're just trying to keep us on our toes, trying to keep us confused so they can control us by telling us stuff like Pluto ain't a planet. We're gonna tell me that the moon ain't a moon? What? I mean. Come on now. What is the Atlantic Ocean no longer an ocean? What is it? A big old lake, a pond? Like, come on now.
we're not gonna get into this casual conversation going for another hour in a whole different direction. We're not gonna get into that. But that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up with my final question. I always ask this to everybody. I want to ask this for you. Looking back now, say if you could talk to your younger self, 10-year-old Mark Briscoe, wrestling with his brother on a trampoline, putting a ring together, do you feel like at this point of your life you made your younger self proud?
I think so, man. I think so. And you know, we're kind of, me and my brother and my family, like we're kind of built to not be satisfied, to always work harder, to you know what I mean, win more. But I definitely think I definitely think 10-year-old Mark wouldn't be too upset with how 40-year-old old ass Mark done turned out.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like knowing that like you guys loved wrestling, want to do something with wrestling, and then now you've lived a whole life. You know, I know you guys have done stuff outside of wrestling. I remember meeting your brother and I asked him if there was anything I could ever do for him, and all he said to me was promote my landscaping business. But that being said, I know you guys do stuff outside of wrestling, but you've done so much with wrestling, and I think that's super cool. And I think 10-year-old Mark Briscoe would be like, damn, like we actually were professional wrestlers. We were on national television. We traveled the world. We got to do some cool stuff. And that's something to be proud of. And of course, never be satisfied. Only fools are satisfied. Only fools are satisfied. But it's good to look back and see what your accomplishments have been so far. So yeah,
that's beautiful. That was beautiful, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a pleasure having you on here. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you down the road.
Absolutely, brother. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. Everybody check out Revolution this weekend. Mark Briscoe team with Orange Cassidy and Big Boom AJ against the MXM Collection and Johnny TV. Obviously, we know how talented Johnny TV is too, so that's going to be a blast. It's in Los Angeles, so if you're in the LA area and you haven't got tickets yet, go get some tickets. It's always a fun time. I say this about wrestling all the time. If you've never been to a show, it doesn't matter if you're the biggest wrestling fan or a new wrestling fan. When you go to a show, there's nothing like it. It's just a fun time. So go to a show. Go enjoy a wrestling show. Thank you very much, Mark. It was a pleasure.
Yes, sir. All right, brother.
It's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.